Who would have thought that on March the 10th of 2020, our lives would be changed forever? What was supposed to be an end of spring break turned into another week of spring break, which later turned into almost 3 months of quarantine. And now, as we continue to do remote learning, it somehow is a sense of quarantine, but our lives have gotten about 25 to 45% normal. Prior to COVID-19, I would think of Eagle Pass as obviously a border town. Cars can come and go to Mexico and here as they pleased. Students would be able to go to Peter Piper to go eat with their friends, go to the gym, go to the lake, go to the car washes. But with COVID around, it's another level of scariness. We have to take caution in what we're doing, who we surround ourselves with, what we are wearing on our faces. We have to take sanitary precautions. COVID-19 to some may have been a rough year, but to others it has brought some sense of light, some sense of renewity. Of course, there have been many deaths with COVID-19, but nonetheless, COVID-19 has still happened and we're learning to survive with it. With that being said, through the eyes of high school students, I would proudly like to show a little example of what our town looks like, how we perceive Eagle Pass to be. Thank you.
They say some of the best years of your life are in high school, and as a high school athlete, I can agree. Some of my best memories have been made with my teammates, my coaches, during the season, going out to eat, or simply just practicing. But this all changed due to COVID, and especially entering practice. From entering practice without a care in the world to getting scolded for not social distancing, and from our first words being hello to becoming answer your COVID survey before entering practice. It's a really difficult thing to go through. But luckily, we are making it work and we are keeping safe and we are going to have a great season along with many other schools.
The community is willing to give a helping hand for those in need. In this slide, we can see where our community comes together with our schools and are able to provide free meals to students that are doing virtual learning due to the pandemic.
Here at our HEB, these signs are posted outside the store to show the new policies due to COVID. Time restrictions have now been placed to keep the store open for a shorter period. 2 people per family are allowed in the store at a time, and examples of sanitary enhancements for the carts are now shown. With many new changes, we now have a pharmacy curbside at our Walmart to minimize possible COVID spreading by lowering the number of people going inside. Another change is the Walmart McDonald's, along with other restaurants, are now only takeout due to the dining areas being closed off.
The image presented a sample COVID screener is shown to demonstrate the questionnaire students, administrators, staff, and parents must fill out before attending any in-person school event. Prior to COVID, students and parents were allowed to go to any school event at their own convenience. To protect one another now, screeners must be filled out to be eligible to participate and or go into school events. If any answers are checked yes, one is not allowed to engage in any activity.
COVID-19 has impacted our border town financially in a bad way. From having our downtown area full with people to having no people go out. Our U.S. customs have also been impacted because their hours got cut from the bridge hours being open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. From the customs having hours cut to our downtown not thriving as much as it once was. As you could see, the bridge is now empty because only U.S. citizens can go and come back as they wish.
The economy in Eagle Pass went downhill ever since COVID started. As you can see in this image, many of the stores in downtown Eagle Pass had to close down during the pandemic because the store owners weren't getting any shoppers and they couldn't keep the stores running due to no purchases being made.
One by one, the number of stores closed and the cars decreased slowly but surely. The mall used to be the place everyone would go to hang out, friends and family, for a fun time. But now with COVID, it's become a ghost town.
In the image presented, a sample of a student's schedule is shown. Pre-COVID, the school roamed with hundreds and hundreds of students to now only being down to 5 to 4 students at a time. Students now face the hardships of virtually learning, lacking compassion, and sadly failing to complete necessary work. It may be a tough situation to teach oneself, but virtual education has effectively decreased chances of attracting COVID-19 for both staff and students.
COVID-19 has definitely changed our lives. Schools used to be filled with students, and in mornings, all you would hear is chatter going on everywhere. Now, due to the pandemic, only a few students attend, and now the halls are empty with very little noise. For students and staff that do go to the schools, they are required to wear a face mask and do a COVID-19 screener before entering the building. Also, all assignments and meetings moved to being online.
Ever since the pandemic started, many people lost their jobs, and they couldn't provide food for their families. Many stores have given free food in order for the food banks to take place, and the city of Eagle Pass has had multiple food banks to help out the people in need during this hard time.
In these two pictures, you can see how we are trying to show that we appreciate everything the frontline workers do and to show that we get what everyone is going through and they are not alone. And it is also as a token of appreciation for the risk they are taking every day to provide for us. Also gives us a chance to show our artistic side.
The next image presented is a sample of a timeline of how COVID-19 has cultivated Eagle Pass as a community. To begin, Maverick County had made sure to include a curfew for children under the ages of 17. Next, a lot of local businesses, shops, restaurants, retail stores were either closed or open with a capacity of 25%. It wasn't until the second or third week of quarantine where the whole world suddenly had the need to overstock on toilet paper, on meat, groceries, anything, you name it. And for a while, we would not see toilet paper or any kind of natural resource for our homes. Next, we would see that businesses closed down, shops would close down. A lot of people began to lose their jobs, their homes, and all of that. With school around the corner, we would also come to find out that students had to do their education online or virtually. We can also see that restaurants have been very full, lines up to an hour, 30 minutes. It just depends. Hospitals have also been overly full. We see that our parks have been closed down, churches, family gatherings, and all of that have been lowered down to a certain amount of people or have been socially distanced. We have also seen 2 COVID testing sites. And as of right now, we are very fortunate enough to start getting immunizations, and that is where we are up to now.
Here in this slide, we asked our friends and fellow students to describe their 2020 through 2021 in a few words. And as you could see, to generalize most of their responses, it has been difficult and challenging. But the thing about this pandemic is none of us are going through this alone. We are all having to carry the burden of this pandemic with us every day. And one day, this pandemic will be lifted and everything will be okay. So stay hopeful.
On the positive side of all that is going on, we can all spend more time together. It is something positive because there are few times for families to be together before COVID happened. For some, it gave each other the chance to know one another on a deeper level, to cherish the smallest moments, and to be there for one another.
Throughout all the chaos that has happened during 2020 and 2021, we can all agree that we have found something new to do. Mostly everybody has discovered a new hobby, whether it is drawing, reading, cooking, working out, etc. We can all now agree that we have something fun and productive to do.
Overall, our community has faced many changes, but it was necessary to keep our residents safe, which is Eagle Pass's top priority. I would like to thank you all for listening and being patient. I would like to present the presenters, which we are all from Eagle Pass. My name is Barbara Cardosa, and my other members' names are Bianca Lopez, Brianne Martinez, Jaylene Barrientos, Priscilla Marquez, and Vivian Gonzalez. We would all like to thank you for listening and hearing about the changes in our community. I would like to leave this at a positive note and end it with a quote. Falling down is part of life. Getting back up is living. And I know we all have faced many hardships since this pandemic started almost a year ago. But I want you all to know that things will get better. We just have to remain hopeful and endure to the end. Thank you all for listening, and God bless.